So I wanted to make this video to showcase my rather massive home planet system here, and we're actually standing at what I call a cube overflow from my home system, where all the cubes are being produced and most of them are being processed into white science, but I ran out of space, so I actually moved this here, and this one produces 30 white cubes per second along with the ones being produced at home. I am producing 85 cubes per second of the white ones, and I'm shooting like some 600 rockets per second, which is not so amazing, but I haven't been entirely focused on rockets. I've been mostly wanting to just build science, and that's sort of what I've done. So you see here in the background is my home system. I started here on Gamma Hydra 3, and my Forge world is here. So there's a lot of ships coming in. This is what it takes to sustain 85 white science per second. I think there's a fun little detail. We're going to just check it out here. So this, in theory, well, in practice, produces 30 per second, but this sorter is long. So if you don't have this little extra here where they sort of wait to line up, it doesn't always fit. So this one will actually not be fully producing because they cannot get out at the correct time. So they need to come out every time there's a gap, and there you can see there's not always a gap. Sometimes the gap is bigger, so if it doesn't catch the gap, it doesn't actually fill out the belt completely, so we don't produce 30, but so you need a little extra outlet here. And you can actually see it in working, because you see this is taking out most of it, but once in a while it will pass and there's sort of this gap. Right, that's a little detail. So this is, well, a leftover mine, I guess, not much left. So what I'm standing on, oh, autosave. Autosave is a killer. Oh, it's a killer. It takes a while. But what I'm standing on is sort of what I like to think of my auxiliary planet, and we can have a look at what it does. Well, it builds materials. So nothing is being entirely completed here except for the supermagnetic rings, I think. But it sort of became an auxiliary planet after I ran out of space on my home world, and I decided, you know, I'm just going to build the things that take up a lot of space. I will build it here. It started actually just only producing these coils and magnetic rings and, you know, the electric motors and the super coils and whatnot, gears, because I knew those were going to take up a lot of space, and I sort of expanded it. And this planet is also running out of space. I put some oil on here too, and it's a little busy, and it's producing graphene, graphite, it's producing stuff for science cubes, because well, I ran out of space, and well, there's still some space left here, but no, not much. My plan is in the future, I'm gonna have my next project, I'll build 4 more of these. I think if I can fit them, I think I'm gonna need to destroy some of this, but 4 more of this, and then I'll produce 120 more per second, and then I'll make an entire system dedicated to only producing science. So each planet will, let's say I make a planet for red science, it will produce 120 red science per second and produce all the materials required for 120 red cubes per second, and so on. And well, this is what it looks like. So this is sort of my auxiliary planet. We can have a tour of it. And I wanted to show sort of how many ships are inbound when you're producing 85 white cubes in one system. And it looks like this. So yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot. And I have my Forge world here, which has a lot of materials coming in. If we take a look at sort of the inbound ships, we can see, well, most of my mining is coming from this system here, the Asalis something system, and I don't think I've ever seen that in any YouTube video before. You see the planets lighting up simply because of all the ships that take off from there. You can see the planets, and the only thing I'm actually producing completely out of system is 60 quantum chips per second. They're being produced at the Ella Crab system here, and you can see just, you know, it's taking in the optical grading ore here, and massive amounts, because I decided to use the alternative recipe. I figured I might as well. So, you know, and it's taking a lot of materials just in to produce the 60 quantum chips, because there just wasn't room for that. In the beginning I built 18 quantum chips per second. I thought that's gonna get me far and a lot, but then, well, not so much. So I built an entire planet only producing quantum chips, and it's actually also producing the other chips on another planet, so I can expand it from here. And if we go to my home planet, we're just gonna take a minute to appreciate all the ships coming in. I think it is crazy, and I think this is one of the things I love about this game. You can just absolutely build massively. I am using mods because otherwise I could not do this. I have the blueprint mod, and I also have the drag and copy mod. Otherwise I would have not been able to get this far. I think we're gonna go check out the fourth world first, and well, it is what it is. I sort of just put it together without too much of a plan, but it's getting full, and well, let's check it out, see how busy it is. So yeah, this is all of the sort of smelting happening here, and this is, like I said, inspired by Nilaus. I watched a lot of his videos, and they're all making a full belt here, so 30 per second for every belt you see. And there's still, some of them are not being completely used, others are running at full capacity. We'll have a quick look around the planet, and well, it is building. I still have some leftover space, and I think I need more steel if I want to keep my rocket production at full capacity. I'm only, I think I'm producing like 600 maybe per second, and yeah, this is sort of a result of poor planning on my part, but it is here and it is being used. I think for my next project I'm actually going to need to build a whole new smelting world, so that will be fun. Yay. Anyway, and then let's go check out my home system, where all the sort of materials being produced on my other two planets, it's coming together. So there's no basic materials being built at home, so in Gamma Hydra 3. You can see it still has, quite a lot of ships coming in. And I'll see if we need to land sort of where the science is being produced, because I think that's the sort of most interesting part, but we'll see where we end up. And yeah, that's around the science. So I had science sort of, well, I didn't have a complete plan when I built this. I never thought it would get to this scale, so it's sort of just built together. But if you watched my first video, it's different, because my first video is one big spaghetti, and this is not. And as you see here, the reason why these are not operating is like I haven't built much to scale or to ratios. I've just sort of built until I had enough. So I could produce more cubes, but I think my green cubes will not keep up at the moment, and well, I'm just not sure, if I could produce more. I actually have more capacity to build the green cubes here, but I just think this looks absolutely beautiful. I mean, just the green cubes just pouring in. You can see there's more room for capacity. I have 10,000, not 10,000 actually. Well, why are these not producing anything then? I guess they need, well, I haven't, like I said, I didn't calculate the ratios. They sort of need an outlet here, I guess. I'm just gonna do something like, yeah, it works. Anyway, so this is the green cubes, and I wanted to show how sort of my outlet works, because all the white science is being produced here. So this was my first one, and this is the system or the tower closest to everything else. And the reason why it's on 90% loaded drones is because then this one gets it first. And the reason for that is also because my warpers that are being produced here actually had to be twice where I ran out of warpers. I was wondering, why is my system slowing down, and why are there less ships? And they were like, oh no, oh no, oh no. So I decided to fix the warper problem permanently, because it happened twice, and there's this theory of energy collapse in this world, where if you have energy collapse, you cannot get your system back up, because you depend on all the higher materials you're building, and if you want to come back from that, well, you can't. And I am using a lot of power. I like this planet, well, in total 42 gigawatt, and this planet alone is using 12.7 gigawatts. So that's something. But anyway, this was the one I built first of the white cubes, and I never again thought it would come to this scale, but it kind of grew on me, and each of these are producing 1 per second. You can see in my background there's the auxiliary planet. I think it just looks amazing. Anyway, and And then I built another one, and I was like, okay, so this one is producing 30 on its own. I think 30, no, not 30, that can't be right. It's producing some, I think, yeah, 30 maybe, 30, 60, that can't be right. My math is also more. But anyway, this one is producing, and this one gets the cubes as the second one because it's furthest from all the towers. So this is the second priority, and then this tower here is the third priority, and then whatever is left over gets sent to the auxiliary planet. So I think that's kind of a smart way of doing it, because then I can only just check if there's something wrong or the science is not working. I check my auxiliary planet first, just if I want to check on it, and if it's working, I know this is working too. So yeah, this is my science, and if we take a look at my planet, I just want to showcase exactly how busy it is. See all my power, there's some power here, and well, there's some power there, and it's just, well, yeah, it's producing all kinds of things. There's some space left, and I think one of the things we'll have a look at, and perhaps one of the more interesting things too, is sort of my original hub. I think we'll fly there and try to see what it looks like, because, well, yeah, and this planet is also producing some chips. It's not producing all of them, but it's producing some of them. And actually, if I find, before we go to the hub, let's go to the green science, because it's the only thing I built to ratio. I had my calculator out because it takes up a lot of space. And the way this works is this produces 18 quantum chips per second. And in order to not overflow it from my other system, because I want to keep this active at all times, this guy is importing the quantum chips from the other planet and then distributes them. So in this way, I make sure that this is always active, and I'm only using sort of the whatever is required from somewhere else. And you can actually see this, the leftover of my solar panels they used to run for the entire surface of the equator, but not anymore because I need space, and the solar panels are, well, not worth much as time goes by. Water, cubes, and just plastic. I'm producing a lot of these guys too, and the normal recipe, because I didn't want to run out of this precious unipolar magnets. But yeah, I think I'm producing it somewhere else too, and I'm using a little of it. It doesn't matter too much anymore because I am down to 2.16% ore consumption. Yeah. So that's how that works. And then there's my hub, and my hub is a mess. It will never run out of materials because I deleted all my sort of initial things I built. So these guys are actually relying on the stone incoming instead of, well, yeah, they're producing, of course they're producing the stone bricks from stone, but the stone is being imported from here. And also these guys are producing glass, and they will produce glass from the stone. So it works. I used to produce the copper directly here, but you see it was running out, and I didn't want to suddenly be surprised that nothing is being working anymore. So my initial hub is here. You can see all the things that are being built here, and the way it works is that they go into towers, and then I can send them out. I like to have a lot of these, and the rest in sort of more modest amount. And also the rest of the buildings are here, and they have a tower for every building. So see here, this guy is producing, well, I'm not using these anymore, but towers, and, well, I'm not using these anymore either, the mini fusion. Accumulators is only so I can build the orbital collectors, so they don't go out, because if these guys went out, they would mess with my system I set up for the accumulators, where it's sort of, if I expand it, it will produce more on its own. If you want to watch, you can find Nilaus videos on this. He made a really good guide on how to build a sort of a self-sustaining battery system. So if you expand it, you can get the system to automatically add more accumulators without overflowing. So I really recommend his videos if you want to sort of expand what you're doing. I think we'll take a look around the planet one more time. It's a mess, but it works, and I am proud of it. And then we'll have one last look at we'll have a look at the Dyson sphere too. So yeah, my home system, it's busy, and you see all the things coming in again. My Dyson sphere is here, and isn't as busy as it could be, but let's have a look at it anyway. And you see the rockets are sort of being shot, not too amazingly large, but well, I wanted to stress test my system, so I built a humongous Dyson sphere around it. I think it requires 400,000 rockets because I wanted to run out. I wanted to see sort of where the supply lines don't exactly add up. So yeah, this is the way it works, and you can see in the background here is, well, everything. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. Thank you for watching.